Welcome to Oxbridge Health, an entirely new approach to healthcare benefits and the home of Episode Advantage. Let's walk through how your choices for care work. Whenever you need care, the first question to ask is this something covered under Episode Advantage? Episode Advantage applies to 152 specific episodes of care, typically higher-cost procedures and treatments that you have time to plan for. While your Oxbridge coverage always enables a broad choice of providers, selecting a care group within Episode Advantage provides the opportunities for guaranteed costs of care, potential shared savings, and a good faith out-of-pocket estimate. Whenever Episode Advantage is available, you have 3 ways to access care. In every case, you are provided an allowance threshold and a non-covered corridor, when applicable. Regardless of the path taken, you are also still responsible for your deductible, coinsurance, and out-of-pocket maximum. The first pathway, Episode Advantage, the best opportunity for savings, security, and financial protection is choosing a care group within Episode Advantage. Here's why. Guaranteed upfront pricing. Everything for your treatment is bundled into one clear cost. No surprise bills later. Potential savings. If your care costs less than your allowance, you get a share of the savings, which lowers your out-of-pocket costs. Good faith out-of-pocket estimate, a point-in-time estimate given to you that shows how much you are expected to pay for a medical service or an episode of care. When you choose a care group below allowance under Episode Advantage, you are eligible to receive shared savings. These shared savings are applied to your deductible and coinsurance amounts for your episode of care. This means more money back in your pocket. When you choose a care group above allowance under Episode Advantage, you take on additional financial responsibility. You won't have any shared savings to apply to the costs, as shared savings are only earned on choices below allowance. When choosing above your allowance, you will enter a predetermined, non-covered corridor, where you are responsible for the entire amount owed above your allowance until you've reached the maximum for that corridor. If your costs exceed the maximum of this corridor, your traditional benefits will then resume. However, in all pathways, you will always receive guaranteed prices and clear costs for your care, as well as a broad choice of care groups. Episode Advantage is always your best pathway to take to receive shared savings, guaranteed prices, and good faith out-of-pocket estimates. The second pathway, staying in-network, but outside of Episode Advantage. If you don't find a guaranteed price through Episode Advantage that meets your needs, the next best choice is staying in-network. You'll still be covered, but your costs work differently. Instead of a single bundled price, you'll pay for each visit, procedure, and test separately. You'll have a lower deductible, coinsurance, and out-of-pocket max than out-of-network care. While you still get some cost protections, you won't have guaranteed pricing and potential shared savings, so bills might be higher than expected. The third pathway, going out of network. The most expensive and uncertain option. The last choice, seeing an out-of-network provider, comes with the highest costs and the most financial risk. You'll have a higher deductible and coinsurance, as well as a separate and higher out-of-pocket maximum. You also lose the security of guaranteed pricing, meaning your provider can bill you for additional eligible charges, which could be significantly more expensive. This can become a bigger cost exposure within the non-covered corridor, as only eligible expenses are counted. When searching for your care options, remember, whenever you need care, always check if Episode Advantage applies first. Episode Advantage gives you guaranteed pricing, potential savings, and a good faith out-of-pocket estimate. No matter which path you take for episodes of care, you always receive an allowance. But if your costs exceed it, you take on additional financial responsibility. Choosing a care group below allowance under Episode Advantage will always provide you with the best cost possible for your care. You will be eligible for shared savings, lowering your out-of-pocket costs. Selecting below your allowance allows you to see the right provider for you at the right cost for you. Out-of-network care comes with the most risk-higher costs, no guaranteed pricing, and potential surprise bills. You are also subject to eligible charge limits. At Oxbridge Health, we're committed to making healthcare simpler, more affordable, and more transparent, giving you, the consumer, greater control, clarity, and choice. Oxbridge Health. It just makes sense.